fire away.
Loss at home, signs of a long week for the Reds, 3 games in 7 days, maybe just fatigued?
That could be part of it, but I won't accept that as an excuse for our guys. First half, to me, we just flat out got outworked. We were second to everything. As we were second to everything, they ended up on the other side of us, running at our back line. We were just too slow. We were so reactive. We were constantly on the back foot. It's like we were surprised by their pressure, which we knew was coming. That's the Kansas City team that plays every weekend. Is a team that closes you down, presses you, puts you under pressure, tries to create turnovers and attacks you. We were surprised by it. We were, like I said, second to second balls and constantly on our heels as a result. And giving away ridiculous goals again, just whether it's a PK, I haven't even seen it, but in the end we called for a PK, which is a giveaway of a goal, then another set piece, if I'm not mistaken, and just unacceptable for me today. Period.
7 times this season now Toronto FC has conceded penalties. Is it a matter of discipline, lack of concentration?
Maybe. At the end of the day, it's defending in the box is about being in control of a situation, right? And managing your guy because, we were matched up in the box and not getting yourself into a bad position, but trying to control and keep your positioning, your marking position good and staying in control of the guy you're dealing with. And too often we find ourselves in reactive scenarios. Then the ball comes in, it maybe catches us by surprise, and our response is to grab or hold or whatever. And once we end up in a reactive position, now you're at the mercy of the attacker. And too often we're finding ourselves in those situations, and our marking has to get better. It's just not good enough at the end of the day. You can't allow 3 goals, and as we've said many times, and expect to win. And that was the message.
Sporting Kansas City has had the most success in the league against Toronto FC. What is it about them that makes them so organized and difficult to break down?
I think they're. I think they're a team that they understand who they are. They press you. They look to create turnovers and get you on the transition with a lot of those turnovers. To be fair, we had a couple chances to go even. And we didn't take them. And I think the teams that are very aggressive like that and seek to create transitions and turnovers and everything else, you have to make them pay when they're over-aggressive and you get behind them or you create your own moments. You have to make them pay. You have to make them pay for wanting to sprint at you and to close you so fast, right? You gotta be able to play the ball, move, get it back, and eliminate that defender quickly. And the next time he doesn't think of running at you so fast. And I think we made it. We allowed them to dictate and play the way they wanted to play. We didn't hurt them enough to change the way they wanted to play, and the game looked how they wanted to. Second half, we were on them more for sure. We won more balls. We were played in their half of the field. It was better, but when they have 2 goals that they're working from, then they can allow the game to look like that a little bit. And unfortunately, we didn't get the second one. If we get the second one, then maybe the game takes a little bit of a turn, but we didn't.
Greg, the back four is obviously it's come in for a lot of criticism, but have they getting enough support from midfield for protection?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Conceding goals is not just about a back four. Conceding goals is about everybody who's on this field, especially when a high number of them come from set pieces or secondary balls on set pieces or things like that, then that, for me, everybody is accountable to a situation. And so sometimes yes, sometimes no. Again, when balls are being played into midfielders and midfielders are not prepared or not playing quick enough, they get stripped and then the back line is being run at. That's not 100% the defender's fault, right? The guys have to do their jobs in the various positions on the field and be accountable to that. And today was one of those days. I think we'd have to take a hard look. As I said to the group now, it's us giving away 3 goals is unacceptable. It's happened way too often. And it's everybody, myself and everybody in the room that needs to tighten up and needs to be better.
How do you fix it? Because it's the same conversation, it seems, every week, right? Just the set-piece goals and the mistakes and maybe bad decisions by players, giving away penalties.
Yeah, some of it in the run of play stuff can come with consistency of guys in the back line. You know, introducing new guys is always, especially a group that hasn't played a lot together. If you can introduce new guys, but even the new guys have played a lot with the other guys, then there's some consistency there and there's some familiarity. So sometimes it's that. The individual bad decisions is just individual accountability. If guys can't make the right decisions, then they can't be on the field, period. And as a defender, you have to be reliable and you have to make the right play 99% of the time. That's being a defender. Unfortunately, sometimes forwards can get away, as we know, with not making the right play, and it doesn't kill you in a moment. But as defenders, we have to do the simple right thing every single time, and that comes down to guys being accountable and on a very basic individual level. So as we get into the stretch, guys, if guys are making mistakes, they won't be on the field.
Are you finding Josie's in any kind of funk right now? I mean, I think 99 out of 100 times you'd expect him to finish that at the back post. What's going on with him?
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of times goal scorers are streaky, and Josie, he had a great opportunity there at the end to bury that with his head. He just missed it. I think he just needs to, like a lot of goal scorers, they just need to get that one. They need to break the ice. They need to get the monkey off their back, whatever that is, and get going. You know, his mentality and his work in training every day has been good. He's been fighting his way back. I thought he played big at moments and strong, like we're used to seeing him. He needs that moment now. He needs to put it in the back of the net and get that feeling back again and continue to drive forward. But we needed that one at that time for sure.
Did they do anything else to deny service to Javinko or Josie? Because it seemed like they didn't do very many touches. They weren't as influential as you'd like them to be.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, from a tactical standpoint, what they were doing to us was their outside backs were really moving, kind of clogging in those pockets in front of the center backs where Sebastian plays and where Josie was playing. And so they were getting over-aggressive with their outside backs to close up those channels, which is why we switched our formation and put Lovitz and Jackson higher to try to attract the attention of those outside backs, to have to respect the width of the field higher up the field to try to open up pockets for Sebastian and Josie for entry passes or for them to combine and for us to get around the outside of them if they wanted to be so narrow in the back and really try to double team our forwards with the outside back and the center back on that side. We needed to get around the outside of them, and we saw some moments where we were dangerous and we were able to get crosses, but we needed to make them pay, right? And we didn't. But that was the big reason. They were very aggressive about giving away the outside pocket and closing the central pocket with their outside backs.
Greg, what was your thinking with the changes you made? What was the mindset?
What I just said, right? I just said that we needed to get into deeper spaces wide to force their outside backs to have to get out of the middle pockets so that we could play into Sebastian, right? We weren't able to get out of the diamond. We weren't able to get wide players up high enough. And when they aren't up high enough, then their outside backs don't have to cover the width of the field. They come inside, and they really sort of jam up the space where Sebastian is playing or where Josie plays in forward position, so it makes it very difficult for us to play in there. We needed higher presence up the field, but we needed that without giving away things in the back all the time. And so we switched it a little bit to give us higher presence with Lovitz, who was able to get into crossing positions and able to draw the attention of Meyer more. And we did it by allowing Jackson a little more freedom to take high positions because we added a third back, if you will, in Justin Morrow. And I thought defensively, for most of that, we were able to press and win balls back. We were able to get balls wide. We were able to get balls in front of their goal. But we didn't make them pay. And at the end of the day, it comes down to making plays in both final thirds, and we didn't make enough plays today.
Is it disappointing to not be able to get that kind of win that gives you some comfort, that pushes you up in the playoff spots, that you're not constantly fighting on the red line? I mean, is it key to get that next win or two?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we're at a point in the season where we need to start creating some separation. We need to start making things clear of that we are clearly in the playoff spot, and we can start preparing for the next thing. But right now, we keep kind of hanging in this and keeping other teams in the mix. And yeah, that's something that has to be better. Plus, this is a league of momentum, right? You get going and you get rolling and you build some confidence and things get going. Obviously, today bringing Michael back and Josie back, and this is, you know, one of my philosophies on this league is whenever you add big players into your team in the summers, whether it's a DP you add in, then the dynamics of the team change, and adding Josie and Michael back in change the dynamics of the team slightly for a day because players start looking for them. They start looking, which they should, right? But it just subtly changes the dynamics of the team because you have big guys that are added into the mix. And so for us, I felt like we were just a little bit off of that because we haven't seen Michael since June, I think it is, somebody said, and Josie's kind of been in and out, and so recognizing who's where and getting those relationships back together again, I thought we were just a touch off, but that doesn't answer why we were second to balls and not winning our challenges and duels.
It's a small sample size, but what's been your evaluation of Ahmed so far? What's coming?
I think he understands his position. He organizes. He communicates. I think he's done a good job. I think he organizes. As I said, he makes good decisions and good reads. And I think again, there's things in front of him that we need to clean up. And I think that the guys next to him as well and around him, all of us, they just need to get more time together, right? Because we had a pairing of he and Damien for a couple of games, and you could see that each half, I thought that was slowly getting a little bit clearer and a little bit better. Today he has Ash on one side and he has Eric, which are two new guys with them. Doesn't make it easy. But Damien out for suspension, and Justin's played every minute of every game and every training session for the entire year. He's starting to feel it. We knew at some point we need to give him a chance to recover so he can be an asset for us in the tail stretch of the season, and getting Ash back into the flow was that. But it's when you see different guys around you and you're the new guy, it's not the easiest thing to settle into, and I think he's done an admirable job. He gives very good information to the guys around him.